Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. After the most recent tell-all episode of Season 19, Kody Brown, star of Sister Wives, is receiving criticism. Kody and his ex-wives talk about the Coyote Pass in Part 3. Regarding his choice to withhold certain information from Mary and Janelle, Kody made some startling remarks. However, a lot of followers are criticizing him for claiming that his ex-wives failed to support Robyn's children when they were all still living together. To see the discussion, continue reading. Sister Wives, Mary and Janelle Brown make startling claims regarding Coyote Pass. In the tell-all's third section, when Mary and Janelle questioned Kody about the Coyote Pass, he would become very agitated. When they were all still residing in Vegas, Mary claimed she got into trouble for asking why the property was divided that way. She went on to say that Kody became so agitated that she stopped asking. She was still suspicious that his name was on every portion of the property. Janelle added that the same reason led to other arguments between her and Kody. The Sister Wives star claims that, in certain respects, Kody always wins, particularly in terms of money. Janelle thinks Kody always has Robyn and himself in mind. Kody accuses the original wives of failing to provide for Robyn's children. Kody Brown also talked candidly about their first corporate payday during the one-on-one discussion. The sister spouses star claims that while the other three spouses enjoyed their portion of the revenue, Robyn never received any. He went on to say that Robyn's kickback was used to purchase the homes of the other wives. Kody continued by saying that they have always supported one another, particularly with regard to the children. However, no one is currently assisting him and Robyn with their children. Kody's remarks, however, drew criticism. After everything that has transpired, the OP criticized him in a social media post for wanting the ex-wives to help Robyn's younger children. Additionally, the posting suggested that Kody and Robyn sell everything they've bought with the money earned by the other wives. The OP also brought up Robyn's gaudy jewelry and Kody's collection of pricey timepieces. Some, meantime, claimed that the other wives should not have supported Robyn's children because he never paid for Isabel's surgery. He and Robyn are not worthy of receiving any financial assistance for their younger children simply because he did not contribute to Isabel's surgery. In addition, he essentially embezzled money from every elder child who had been on the show for years prior to the Robyn spawning. Who is going to help Truly? Not Kody, unless the court orders it. David will treat Christine as if they were a true partner. However, Kody most likely neglected Truly just like he did Savannah. Kody believes that because he is Kody Brown, he is entitled to everything. He must be a man and provide for his family. Robyn Brown, a sister wife, appeared with a debt. Robyn Brown had a $32,000 credit card debt when she joined the family. The fact that the other wives contributed to the debt repayment, however, made matters worse. Sadly, the Sister Wives cast members received nothing in exchange. In the end, Robyn became even more important to Kody as she grew older. While Robyn and Kody resided in their own home, the other women even had to adapt and rent a home when they relocated to Flagstaff. Years ago, Kody Brown began to distance himself from Janelle Brown. According to Janelle, once the family moved to Arizona from Las Vegas in 2018, Kody found it more difficult to split his affections. She said on the September 29th show, Kody found it a lot easier to be away when he moved to Flagstaff. She revealed that he would try to grovel because he was exhausted, saying, "I'm really tired." I'm like, well, you can rest at my house just as much as you can rest at Robyn's house. A couple of times I had to remind him that he needed to come to my house. The children of Janelle Brown and Christine Brown-Woolley didn't enjoy visiting Robyn Brown's house. The problem for Christine's children, however, was that they saw that Robyn and their dad were a couple and he wasn't in our home. Janelle described this separateness her brood felt with Robyn, saying, "My children were scolded if they would open up Robyn's fridge." Robyn added that her crew was aware of the division. On the September 29th episode, she revealed, "Mary was very accepting of my kids and I overall, but the rest of the family really struggled to accept my kids and I. All we wanted to do was be a part of this family. However, Gabriel would contend that he and his siblings made a concerted effort to include them. He stated, "I think that Robyn definitely has a victim complex," during the episode that aired on October 13th. I mean, to put it bluntly. And I don't necessarily blame her for that. I think that different people do, devise different strategies to keep themselves afloat. But, he continued, if she actually believes that we were mistreating her or her children in any way when she was constantly getting favorited by Dad, and we were always working on our relationship with her kids, if she actually believes that, then there's no chance of me having a relationship with Robyn ever again. Janelle Brown questioned the parenting styles of Robyn and Kody Brown. In the September 29th episode, Kody talked about how his and Robyn's youngest child, Ariella, who was born in January 2016, clung to his leg as he tried to depart, demonstrating how having their dad move between 4 different houses did have an impact on his 18 children. I had to explain to her, there's another wife that needs me, another mommy. I got other kids that need to see me, Kody said. And she's just dragging along on my legs screaming, "Don't leave me, Daddy, don't leave me." And I'm like, golly man, this is hard. Janelle insisted, unfortunately, that's just a reality of plural marriage. From the very beginning, she said, the kids knew that their dad was not going to always be there. I always felt like that Kody and Robyn mismanaged the situation with her children. He couldn't be away for more than 3 or 4 days because Ari just gets so sad, or whatever. I'm like, I feel like that was poor parenting. Through all history of the family, the other kids did it, and they're fine. They're well-adjusted adults. Robyn Brown and Michael T. Padrone had a close relationship. During Kody's divorces, Michael T., a mother of 3 and one of the few Brown children still close to Robyn and Kody, as well as Christine and Janelle, played the role of peacekeeper. Robyn was close to Michael T. from the time she joined the Brown family, and she was even invited to attend the birth of her twins, Archer and Ace, in November 2022. I was trying to figure out who I was when Robyn first joined the family, and she made me feel special, and she made me feel seen, Michael T. said in the episode that aired on September 29th. Robyn was there for me when I needed somebody. She was there for me when I needed somebody to hear me, to love me. Additionally, her mother Christine was ecstatic. Christine said in the October 6th episode, "It was everything that I hoped for when Robyn entered the family, and it was clear that she and Michael T. had a great relationship. When I was so excited about having a plural family, I was hoping that my kids would have a great relationship with other moms." Kody Brown allegedly brainwashed one of his children. Kody believes that he was taken out of their life by more than just his wives. He gave his perspective on his distance from some of his older children in the October 6th episodes, explaining, "They're purposely leaving me out of their lives to punish me for a crime I did not commit. I am only guilty of not falling madly in love with their mothers." Furthermore, he added, he believes his ex-spouses share some of the responsibility. "This disparity in relationship with my children is specifically in my mind because of SD talk," he stated. There's this whirlwind of disappointment from the family breaking up or whatever, and it's like, well, blame Dad. Dad screwed up. Although he bears some of the responsibility, he finds the name-calling offensive. Kody disclosed that one of his children replied to a text message saying, "You are a piece of trash. I would never speak to you again anyway." He notably mentioned that he was having trouble connecting with Hunter, Maddie, and Gabriel. "I've had one of my kids just say, 'You're an a-hole. I'm never talking to you again. You manipulated me and you brainwashed me,'" he said to cameras in a different incident. And he's unwilling to deal with that venom. He stated, "I'm not going to reach out forever," adding that he believes his grown children ought to be doing more to make things right. "I'm willing to make the effort, but somebody else is going to have to be on the other end of that and make some effort too." As a parent, Robyn Brown found it difficult to respect Kody Brown. Robyn found it extremely painful to witness Kody's alienation from his grown children. During the October 6th program, she said, "My parents got divorced when I was little. He lived with one wife in another city, and then my mom lived alone. I remember confronting my biological father saying, 'What happened? Why?' All he really did was just make a bunch of lame excuses as to why he wasn't there for me when I was young, and it just sucked." No, She wasn't going to let Kody's wounded sentiments prevent him from trying. During their heated on-camera confrontation in late 2022, she admitted, "I'm having a hard time feeling like losing respect for you a little bit." Kody also admitted that he might be doing more to improve his relationship with his children, but he insisted that he must first heal his heart. Claiming that certain of his children are colluding against me, he said, "I'm so angry about what has happened that if I talk to my kids, I'm worried that they'll trigger me with an accusation. I'm too hot-headed right now. All I'll do is more damage." Kody Brown didn't see his grandchildren for years. When Janelle and Kody's oldest son Logan married his now-wife Michelle Petty in October 2022, a large portion of the family was present, but they weren't quite feeling the love. In the October 6th episode, Kody vented to Robyn, "You saw Madison take her kids and scuttle them away from me," pointing out that his daughter had not informed him that she was pregnant her third child, Josephine, who was born in February 2023. "She never told me she was pregnant. Since they don't talk much, Maddie doesn't really tell her dad anything." Really, Maddie doesn't have any contact with him. Janelle clarified when asked why her daughter avoided Kody during the wedding. "She is very protective of her children. Kody has not been there since Evie was born, and Evie's 3.5. And she didn't want him to just drop in and be like, 'Oh, I'm your grandpa,' and then be like, 'What? Who is this guy? What does Kody think?'" In reference to Maddie's life in North Carolina, he stated, "It's unrealistic expectation for grandparents to be in their grandchildren's lives all the time, especially if you move your children to an entirely different coast. In Flagstaff, I have a job and a life." Kody Brown requested an apology from his children to Robyn Brown. One recurring issue is Kody's insistence on some kind of mea culpa, even though it's evident that he and his adult children have quite different perspectives on their continued separation. After the COVID scare was over and we all went back to our normal lives, we still couldn't reconcile as a family because Kody felt like the boys needed to give an apology to him and to Robyn, especially to Robyn. Janelle talked about her sons in the October 13th clip. "And after it sort of morphed into this, well, they just need to come and talk to me. And the most precious person in this family who's given her heart and soul has been disrespected or some bull's tea like that," Janelle added, "and I'm like, whatever, Kody." Kody's problem, she added, was that he believed his children had not been faithful to him. Yes, anything. The same was true for Gabriel, who told Janelle about a conversation he had with his father. "He kept phrasing it like I owed him an apology," he said, "and finally I was just like, hey, unless you're actually ready to have a relationship and fix things, then we're not going to talk anymore." He returned a few days later and texted me. He says, "Hey, I've been looking at what you've been saying." I said, "I forgive you. Please forgive me." I said, "What have you forgiven me for?" Only one of Janelle Brown's children is seen by Kody Brown. "It's not frequently, but every couple months he'll call and they'll go out," Janelle explained in the October 13th episode, referring to Kody's relationship with his youngest of the 6 children he shares with Janelle. The rest of the kids don't really have much of any kind of connection with him. Savannah, who graduated from high school in 2023, feels that her 4 older brothers have assumed the position of a father figure. The girl has even admitted to Janelle that she hopes to have her siblings marry her. "He's going to be kind of that dad who shows up and we have a lot of fun, and then he's gone," Janelle explained. "I've talked to Savannah about it, and she's like, look, I just have come to realize that this is who he is. Wherever he is, I can meet him. It's all right." But Janelle is less understanding. "Look, I've seen this happen," she bemoaned, "and I'm just so frustrated with Kody. Over the years, I've dealt with a number of ladies who were divorced, and the father simply disappears with the children." Gabriel Brown claimed he wouldn't mind seeing his father, Kody Brown, ever again. Gabriel took it very hard because Kody was someone who would take Gabriel with him on business trips, Janelle said early in their father-son conflict. Kody was a totally engaged father until the last few years. "I told Dad that if he doesn't change and he can't take accountability, then I just won't ever see him again," Gabriel stated in the October 13th episode, despite his feelings of confusion over what he did to enrage his father. "And that's totally fine with me. He's at peace that his dad is not in his life," Janelle said. That's what I wish for all of my children, you know. And I believe they're all arriving. Kody, for his part, seemed to be accepting of the circumstances. In a confessional, he said, "I've tried to reach out to Gabriel several times but have been turned down. I'm really sorry that he feels that way. However, it wasn't because I didn't try." Fearing that Meri Brown would trash-talk him, Kody Brown. Despite being the final wife to divorce Kody, Meri formally ended their relationship in late 2022 by asking for and getting what their church refers to as a release on the basis of abandonment. On the October 13th episode, she said, "I know he doesn't like that word because he doesn't feel like he abandoned me. I believe that he did." She believes that he essentially disregarded her until she decided to go so that he could say, "My hands are clean." Furthermore, Kody acknowledged that he had a small plan. "I had moved on a long time ago," he said in a confessional. "But let's be honest, I was scared of what she would do if I pulled off that band-aid. It's because Meri has never been faithful to me. I've been concerned about that. It's merely a matter of reputation, as being divorced ruins your reputation." Meri claimed that instead, it was hers that was being damaged. "It's really just sad that Kody's talking about our marriage the way that he's talking about it," she stated. "It feels like the narrative has changed with him, but the things that he's saying about me to other people and the people are believing are not true." Years ago, Christine Brown-Woolley discovered that Kody Brown wasn't a suitable match. Thanks to an exercise suggested by their marital and family therapist in Las Vegas, Christina discovered years before she and Kody parted ways that they weren't a good fit on paper. During the October 20th episode, Christine disclosed that Kody wasn't any of the qualities on the list. "I told him the list, and he's like, 'I'm not any of those things for you.' I said, 'No, you're not.'" Christine wrote down that she was looking for a good communicator, someone who would be present in her and her children's lives, and someone who was attracted to her. She rapidly realized that her now-husband David Woolley was her soulmate, in part because of the missive. She raved about the widower father of 8, saying, "He has owned his own drywall business, and his family is his most important thing. He is known for being straightforward and honest with others, and he is an excellent communicator." In a bombshell moment that fans are calling one of the most tone-deaf, controversial, and jaw-droppingly arrogant statements in Sister Wives history, Kody Brown has now reportedly accused his original 3 wives, Meri, Janelle, and Christine, of failing to financially support Robyn's kids, launching an emotional firestorm that threatens to shatter whatever shreds of civility remained between the fractured Brown family. The accusation, delivered with Kody's trademark intensity and righteous indignation, has fans, ex-wives, and even some of his own children questioning if he's lost complete touch with reality, as he not only implied that his former wives turned their backs on Robyn's children but even suggested that they were morally obligated to help raise them financially, simply because they had once agreed to live a plural lifestyle. "Robyn's kids are my kids too. That means they're your kids, too," Kody allegedly said in a tense, off-camera conversation recounted by a source close to the family. "We entered this lifestyle as one family, and now everyone's running from responsibility because it's not convenient anymore." That statement, already causing seismic shockwaves on social media, didn't just trigger disbelief. It lit a powder keg of anger in Janelle and Christine especially, who have each raised 6 children of their own, often with little financial or emotional support from Kody during the hardest years of their lives. Fans will remember that while Robyn has often portrayed herself as the peacekeeper and most traditional of the wives, she's also benefited disproportionately, living in a massive Flagstaff home while the other wives endured rentals, RVs, and cramped conditions. Now, to hear Kody scold the ex-wives for supposedly abandoning Robyn's children, while conveniently ignoring the years they spent building the Brown family from the ground up, feels to many like the ultimate betrayal. Let's be clear, Meri, Janelle, and Christine already gave everything, emotionally, physically, financially, to a plural family structure that ultimately centered Kody and, eventually, isolated Robyn as the so-called favorite. Janelle in particular is said to be livid, reportedly telling a friend, "I worked full-time when our kids were babies, lived in trailers, went without, and now he wants to act like I'm some kind of deadbeat aunt to Robyn's kids? Are you kidding me?" Fans of the series will recall Janelle's sacrifices, the years she worked to support not only her own children but the greater Brown household, often putting money into a communal fund that supported all the wives. Christine's reaction, however, is said to have been even more cutting. Sources close to her say she laughed at the accusation, then said flatly, "He's still trying to make Robyn everyone's responsibility. Newsflash, we all moved on. He should, too." And Christine, now happily married to David Woolley and embracing her new life in Utah, has made it clear both on and off camera that her priority is her own children, not bailing out the man who emotionally abandoned her while focusing all his energy on one wife and her children. And then there's Mary, who may be the most complicated figure in this drama.